All right, guys, quickly starting out, just giving you an injury update, where things stand right now. We did put Jalen Naylor on injured reserve, sustained a hamstring in practice the other day. Unfortunate for him. He was really doing some really good things, and will continue to do so when we get him back, hopefully right on that timeline of what the short-term IR is. Marcus Davenport will be out this weekend. He's working his way back, and we want him to hopefully return to being a participant in practice and work towards his way to playing next week. And then Garrett Bradbury is progressing pretty well. He'll go in questionable after a couple days of limited work, and we'll see how Garrett's feeling in his response to some increased workload throughout the last couple days. But as far as Darisaw, Hicks, and Metellus, they will not go in with any sort of game status designation. Been a good week of practice. These guys have really been purposeful and intentional about how we've handled everything this week with a little extra time to prepare. And now our focus is solely on being a confident group to go put all that preparation in play against a really good football team at home. Looking forward to being back at home in front of our home crowd and getting that environment to help bring us home, hopefully with our first win. But it will be a heck of a challenge. Since we last talked, it's been a couple days. We did add Cam Akers via trade. I'm excited to add Cam to the roster and throw him in the mix with some of our other running backs. I think he's a guy I have some personal history with. Some of our other coaches do as well. I know he's really excited to be here, and he'll work towards potentially being a part of what we do next week, but it's a little too soon to ask him to go this week. So more than likely he will be down for the game, but he's off to a great start here in about a day and a half of work or so. So we're excited about that. Really excited still, though, about Alex Madison and the purpose he's had coming out here this week, and has really had a good week of preparation, and look forward to watch him continue to do his thing. Outside of that, just didn't get a chance to be down there the other day, but wanted to offer up some congratulations to Kyle Rudolph on a great career. I've had a chance to get to know him really well. So much respect for him as a person, player, everything he meant to this organization, and we'll be honored to have him, at our game on Sunday, and hopefully, our Vikings, great fan base, can show him some love as we honor him.
What were your impressions of Cam Akers in LA?
From really my evaluation through the draft and the process of getting to know him, always just had respect for his toughness, his ability to really be a potential 3-down back, I think, in this league. But Cam's a tough runner. He's experienced in some of our schemes. I think he came in great shape. That's one of the things in season. I know it's still early, but you're hoping you get a great version of that player, and we certainly did. I know he's really excited to be here. The guys have already welcomed him with open arms, and I think he fits right in with our team, our culture, and hopefully we can build towards having him be an impact on our offense. And that's really, at this point, it's still so early. Wanting him to get acclimated in our offense, our version of our offense, which, there's some things he's getting caught up to speed on. But there is quite a bit of carryover for him, which is a good thing as well.
What did you tell Madison about the trade?
Yeah, I told Alex, nothing changes for him. Alex, the feelings I've had since the first time really talking to you guys about Alex and his role for us still all feel the same. There's 1,000 things that we can all do better to improve our run game. But as far as Alex Madison goes, he's our lead back, and continue to want to try to build things around him and marrying the run and the pass through the run game, and an improved run game that's going to take all 11 guys on the field regardless of what personnel we have. But Alex knows exactly the expectations for him as our lead back, and I think he's excited to continue to attack that hunt for improvement in the run game right along the offensive line, tight ends, receivers, and obviously Kirk running the show.
Said, how moving forward next week, following week, how would you see Cam being used if Alex is still in that same kind of lead role?
I think we'll work a lot of those things out as far as how many touches here and there for guys. I see both guys having a role I see both guys really thriving off of each other. I still see Ty Chandler as a guy that he's done a really nice job in the kick return game. I think we're getting close in that phase. Starting to see people just kick the ball out of the end zone and really see him potentially as a threat there. And then he'll continue to have a role as well. The depth that we have in that room with Miles now and Debo on the P squad, you feel really strongly about the duration of the regular season now, knowing where we want to go as an offense, and having many capable guys in that room is a really positive thing.
Kane looking like he'll have a chance to get back in that kind of initial stretch off the PUP list, or is this a longer-term thing in your mind?
Yeah, he's doing some really good things, rehabbing and taking the time to be thorough with that, knowing that, that a low back is always something you want to be cautious with, especially for a runner, and the impact that those guys have from a physicality standpoint. I think he's in a good place. I got a chance to catch up with him a little bit the other day, kind of at the tail end of his rehab. He feels really strong, and he's working his way back. So the timetable, Ben, I'm not really at a place where we can give that yet, but I think that speaks to the depth we now have and feel good about, with that whole room with Curtis Modkins.
Was the hope with Cam to add, I know he had a number of explosive runs in LA, is the hope that you add a little bit more of a counterpunch to Alex by putting Cam in the offense there?
Yeah, I just think it's a chance to add a good football player. Any circumstance, sometimes it's as simple as that. Depending on what is all involved in a trade for a player like Cam, we felt like it was a great opportunity to add him to our group and kind of see what happens from there.
Gets to the point, or has he gotten to the point where he could be of use Sunday, or is it too high of a
we're actually going to go talk through that right now as a staff. The hope was that we could just not really put a timetable on it, and I will say this much: he's progressed quickly, and I think he feels good about whatever his role is going to be, not only this weekend but then continuing to attack it moving forward. And what that looks like will be a really competitive situation and trying to find the best 5 guys we can to go be efficient on offense.
Kevin, it's kind of unusual to get a running back of Cam's talent.
Yeah.
I guess what made you comfortable with the situation that kind of led to his trade here?
Yeah, I think I do know the player. I have been around him. I have been around some of our other coaches have been around him. I know the makeup. I know what kind of player he is. I know he loves football. And a lot of those things tend to be really strong qualities of guys that have had some success here in our program and have thrived in the culture that we have here. As far as what led to him being available, really not of concern too much for me. There's always going to be some communication there with some relationships and things like that, but this is really just about Cam and, what I look at it as a fresh start in a place where he's got some familiarity and can feel comfortable to come in and hopefully have an impact quickly.
Dalton, Risner, and with this move, how important and how much have you guys thought just for the duration of the season to be able to add guys as depth?
Yeah, I think it's when opportunities like this don't always present themselves, and the timeline sometimes is out of your control as well. I know for me personally, you can feel like that sometimes, but when those moves tend to happen, it's our job to coach those players up, get them ready to go, and then know that in the back of your mind, the depth is now solidified. Like I said, we've played 8 linemen in 8 quarters, and as much as I love having C.J. Ham as part of our offense, from a true tailback perspective, adding Cam, provides a boost, to a collective group that I think is getting ready to get going a little bit. And then C.J.'s truly in his role, which has been really valuable for us as we've transitioned kind of personnel-wise a little bit this year early on in the season.
Any chance for IR for Davenport, or do you think he's going to turn this corner? Or?
Yeah, I think the timeline that kind of we have in place now, I think we all feel good about. But it's been a unique situation, and we're just trying to support the player, and he knows that we're doing everything in our power to help him. He's doing everything in his power to continue to be ready to roll. I know he wants to get out there more than anybody, so we'll work through that. But my hope is that we have him hopefully short term.
Unique about it?
Just the reaction to some of the work and just kind of the response from the injury that has kind of kept him from progressing kind of on an upward trajectory just been unique from a standpoint of the hope versus kind of what's been in the short term. But we're still talking very short term period of time here, and we're hoping it stays like that, and then we can get him back going again.
Those few snaps he played in Philly, did he aggravate anything in those snaps, or what kind
of
went from
I
here
don't want to get into the when and the where. I just know he didn't feel like he could be at his best, which was the hope going into the game, and he had worked on a short week, worked his tail off to try to get ready.
Can we talk about training camp?
Go ahead, Matt.
Okay. Just putting more on Justin Jefferson's plate from a mental perspective and reading defenses, things like that. I guess how has that kind of played into his success over the first couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's been huge. I mean, we've already seen some not totally new ways of defending him, but just different types of defensive structures and philosophies on how they want to try to limit what he's doing, and through a lot of different tools that we've built up together with Justin, and that's running the gamut of routes, formations, personnels, all those things. He's absorbed all that stuff really, really well, and just continues to thrive. He's he's doing a great job, and can't say much more than that. And he's been so great about understanding the purpose behind why we do certain things for him and how we do it, and then seeing the benefit not only for himself but his teammates as well. Thanks, guys.